Hello Destinites, and welcome to the Great Owl's Fabian Strategy review for gameplay in both PvP and PvE, and it is fully upgraded. So, by request of a subscriber, fantastic subscriber, I've taken this weapon off the shelf, and I've played with it for some considerable more hours to get a better grasp of why I like or dislike the various aspects of this weapon. So the main detail of this weapon to focus on, I think, is the exotic perk, because when you use an exotic, that's the reason it's occupying that slot. It's got to be worth that perk that it has. And people have different reasons for valuing different perks. So how does the perk work for this one? It's Frontlines. What does Frontlines do? It has been buffed recently, by the way. Frontlines is just like it might suggest. When you're in the front lines, when you're surrounded by, I believe, 2 or more opponents, your weapon goes ham and goes from whatever rate of fire it's at to the maximum rate of fire. So how does this work but not work in PvP like you're watching now? Well, it's kind of in the essence of the perk itself. So I can't resist here if we got, I think we got a double sniper kill. Yes, we do. Count them. 1 and 2. Yeah, nice. So if you're in PvP, if you're a good player, you're not usually rushing into a group of 3 or 4 people at once. And that's when this exotic perk activates. But there is the rare situation you'll run into where it does activate and you can still use it and you aren't being swarmed. And I gotta say, in that situation, it's a hell of a lot of fun and definitely a huge surprise for your opponent. I think we got one of those situations right here coming up. This guy does not expect this rate of fire coming at him, and I wipe the floor with him real fast. But had that been in another situation where the only reason I got that was because there was enough guys near me, if I was surrounded, even if I took out the one guy, I'm probably going to die to the next. So a better player doesn't want to just trade. You want to take out multiple opponents. You want to have a positive kill-death ratio, and that's not what this perk is so much allowing you to do. So I would, in the end, judge it as this. Here we go again. Nice. Just shred him. Melts him. If you want to use this weapon in PvP, do it for fun. Don't be doing it because you want to have the best game that you've ever played. Do it because the novelty of having some guy completely surprised. Here's another example. I do not think this guy, I even had time to reload this. He was not ready for that rate of fire and was probably wondering, what the hell? I thought that was just some crappy auto rifle. It didn't sound like the, one of the Osiris ones. The Osiris has a ridiculous rate of fire as well. And so it's really novel, it's entertaining, but it's not the best weapon that you're ever going to use when you're in PvP. Save that for something else, or maybe you're in a match where you just know that you're going to wipe the floor with everybody, and even more, make the point by taking this weapon in there to kick some ass. So that's the story in PvP. Fun, but not that effective. Or effective, whichever. Now, PvE is an entirely different story, and I think the weapon shines here in a number of different ways. It's got, okay, so front lines is supposed to make you feel like a titan in the front lines, that you are under heavy fire, you are surrounded, and that you can lay down all these bullets. This bullet hose is just going to light these guys up because of its ability. In PvE, the player, you as the player, do not so much mind when you run in, like you can see on the screen, when you run into multiple opponents. So that means one of 2 things. One, you're going to have this ability, Frontlines, activate way more often because you can comfortably enter a situation where you're surrounded by this many opponents, and so it's going to be useful. And 2, you feel like a titan. You feel like a guy at the front lines in PvE, so the sort of, whatever your role play, the imaginative aspect of the game really gets enhanced by the perk of this weapon. So those are my thoughts. Use it in PvE, it's really effective. Use it in PvP for fun, and that's how she works. I hope you found this useful. That's the Great Owl signing off for now. Ciao for now. Peace.